In the heart of India, where the Wangunga River twists like a great sleepy snake, lies the Sioni jungle. This is a land untouched by time, where the river's gentle curves carve through a sea of green and the air is thick with the scent of earth and growing things. Here the jungle breathes and pulses with life, its secrets hidden beneath a canopy that stretches as far as the eye can see. It's a world of deep greens and dark shadows, alive with 1,000 voices. The sunlight dances through the leaves, painting shifting patterns on the forest floor, while the air hums with the calls of unseen creatures. Every inch of this jungle is alive, from the smallest insect to the tallest tree, each playing its part in the endless symphony of nature. The wind whispers secrets through the tall sal trees, and the rustle of bamboo leaves sounds like soft rain. Sometimes the breeze carries the distant roar of a tiger or the warning cry of a bird, reminding all who dwell here that the jungle is both sanctuary and battleground. Monkeys, the banda log, chatter and swing from high branches, their tails dangling like ropes. Their laughter echoes through the treetops, a constant reminder of the jungle's playful spirit. They leap from limb to limb, always alert, always watching, their bright eyes missing nothing. Below, silent sambar deer move like ghosts, their ears twitching at every sound. They step lightly through the undergrowth, blending perfectly with the dappled shadows, always wary of the dangers that lurk nearby. Their lives depend on their caution, for the jungle is a place where only the alert survive. The jungle is a vast ancient kingdom ruled by its own laws, home to creatures from the great python Kaa to the smallest birds. Each animal, whether predator or prey, has a role to play in this delicate balance. The python glides silently through the undergrowth, while birds flit from branch to branch, their songs weaving through the air like threads of gold. This jungle is a place of beauty and danger. Sunlight reveals dazzling colors and hidden flowers, but in the shadows, sharp eyes and sharper claws wait. Every day is a test of survival, and every night brings new mysteries. Every creature from mighty Hathi the elephant to Rikki-tikki Tavi the mongoose knows its place. The elephants move with slow, deliberate grace, their footsteps shaping the very paths of the forest, while the mongoose darts quickly, clever and fearless, always ready to defend its home. They know the paths to water, the best places to find food, and the safest spots to sleep beneath the moon. The jungle's rhythms are ancient, passed down from one generation to the next, a living memory that guides every creature's steps. The law of the jungle is known to all who are born within its green embrace. It is unwritten, yet every animal understands its rules, for these laws are the difference between life and death. It governs hunting, territory, and the way disputes are settled. The strong protect the weak, and the wise teach the young. Even the fiercest predator respects the boundaries set by the law. For to ignore it is to risk the wrath of the jungle itself. To break the law is to invite chaos and danger for all. When the balance is disturbed, fear spreads like wildfire, and the harmony of the jungle is shattered until order is restored. The jungle is a community, and the law is its heart. Here every life is connected, and every action ripples through the web of existence, shaping the fate of all who call the jungle home. The calls of peacocks echo at dawn, signaling a new day. Their vibrant feathers catch the first rays of sunlight, a promise that life continues no matter what the night has brought. Silent panthers like Bagheera glide through the shadows, eyes glowing. They are the silent watchers, guardians of the night, moving unseen but always present, their presence felt by all. Bears like Old Baloo teach the young ones the wisdom of the jungle. Through stories and gentle guidance, they pass on the lessons of survival, respect, and courage, ensuring the next generation is ready for the challenges ahead. And into this vibrant world, two very different hunters walked their separate paths, destinies not yet intertwined. The jungle watched and waited, knowing that every story here is woven into the greater tapestry of life, where every creature, great or small, has a part to play. One of the most feared hunters in Sioni was Shere Khan, the great tiger. His name alone sent a chill through the hearts of all who lived in the jungle. Stories of his strength and ferocity were whispered among the trees, and even the bravest animals dared not cross his path. His coat blazed orange and black, muscles rippling beneath his skin. Every movement was a display of raw power, a reminder that he was the undisputed lord of his domain. The sunlight seemed to dance on his fur, making him appear almost regal as he prowled through the undergrowth. Yet, for all his might, Shere Khan was born with a lame leg. This imperfection set him apart from other tigers, forcing him to hunt cattle more than wild game, a practice frowned upon by the law of the jungle. The other animals saw this as a weakness, but Shere Khan saw it as a reason to be even more ruthless. This made him bitter and cruel, walking with arrogant pride, believing himself king. He carried himself with a swagger, his head held high, his eyes burning with a fierce, unyielding light. No one dared challenge his authority, for his temper was as legendary as his strength. The other animals gave him a wide berth, for his roar could freeze the blood. When Shere Khan announced his presence, the jungle fell silent. Birds took flight, monkeys vanished into the treetops, and even the bravest deer would scatter at the sound of his approach. In the same tangled wilderness lived Tabaki, the hyena. He was a very different creature, both in appearance and in spirit. Not grand or powerful, Tabaki was a creature of shadows, with a scruffy coat and clever, watchful eyes. He slunk through the undergrowth, always alert, always searching for scraps and secrets. His unsettling laugh echoed through the night, making others shiver. It was a sound that seemed to mock the jungle itself, a reminder that not all threats came with claws and fangs. Tabaki was a scavenger, quick-witted and resourceful, surviving by cunning, not strength. He thrived on leftovers, on the things others discarded, and he always seemed to know where to find a meal. He trusted no one, relying only on his intelligence. In a world ruled by tooth and claw, Tabaki's mind was his greatest weapon, and he used it to navigate the dangers of the jungle. Tabaki moved quietly, listening to every whisper and rumor, gathering information that others overlooked. He was a master at staying unnoticed, slipping in and out of the shadows with ease. Shere Khan was all brute force and open aggression, his presence announced by his booming roar. He wanted the world to know he was near, to feel the fear he inspired. He saw others as beneath him, or obstacles in his path. To Shere Khan, the jungle was his kingdom, and every creature within it was either a subject or a rival. Tabaki, on the other hand, was a master of subtlety and patience, always observing from a distance. He preferred to watch and wait, learning the habits and weaknesses of those around him. He gathered secrets like others gathered food, using them to his advantage whenever possible. Tabaki knew that knowledge could be as powerful as strength, especially in a world as dangerous as the jungle. Their natures were opposed, one a blazing fire, the other a creeping shadow. Where Shere Khan ruled by fear, Tabaki survived by wit. A deep suspicion existed between them. They understood each other's strengths and weaknesses, and neither was willing to let down their guard. Shere Khan saw Tabaki as a lowly dish licker, barely worth his notice. He dismissed the hyena's cunning as cowardice, never realizing how dangerous a clever enemy could be. Tabaki respected the tiger's power, but never trusted his temper. He knew that Shere Khan's pride made him unpredictable, and that a single misstep could be fatal. He knew Shere Khan could turn on him in an instant. Every encounter was a careful dance, a test of nerves and wits, and so they moved through the same jungle, breathing the same air, but divided by mistrust. Each watched the other, always calculating, always wary. Their worlds were separate, their rivalry unspoken but ever-present. The tension between them was a silent current, shaping the lives of all who shared their home. The jungle watched, knowing these two could never be allies. In the endless struggle for survival, Shere Khan and Tabaki would always be adversaries, each a force to be reckoned with, each a legend in their own right. The unspoken rules of the jungle kept Shere Khan and Tabaki apart. Their territories often overlapped near the villages of men, leading to tense encounters. If Tabaki found a small deer, he ate quickly, always alert for the tiger's heavy tread. More than once, Shere Khan had appeared snarling and taken the hyena's meal for himself. Tabaki could only back away, resentment simmering. The tiger never acknowledged the hyena's right to hunt. Their competition was for food, space, and respect. When Shere Khan walked by the waterhole, animals fell silent and moved away. When Tabaki approached, they muttered and chased him off. Tabaki envied the fear Shere Khan commanded. The tiger, in turn, was annoyed by the hyena's persistence and sharp eyes. This constant observation made Shere Khan uneasy, as if Tabaki saw a hidden weakness. One day, Tabaki tracked a wounded buck for hours, only for Shere Khan to burst from the grass and claim the kill. Tabaki stood frozen, his victory stolen. Shere Khan's low growl promised death, and Tabaki retreated, humiliated. This constant conflict shaped their existence. They were like two stones grinding, creating sparks of anger and mistrust. The other animals watched and understood. The strong take, the weak survive as best they can. No one imagined these two could ever be anything but rivals. Shere Khan was too proud to see value in Tabaki. Tabaki was too wary to trust the tiger. Their paths seemed destined to cross only in anger. The dry season came to Sioni, and it was a hard one. The rains had vanished, leaving the land thirsty and cracked. Each day the sun rose higher, its heat relentless, baking the earth and sapping the strength from every living thing. The jungle, once lush and green, now seemed to wither under the weight of the season. The sun beat down, turning green leaves brittle brown. The canopy, which once offered cool shade, now let harsh light filter through, and the air shimmered with heat. Even the oldest trees, their roots deep in the earth, felt the strain of the unending drought. The Waingunga River shrank, leaving cracked mudflats where water once flowed. Fish floundered in shrinking pools, and the riverbanks, once teeming with life, grew silent. The promise of water faded with each passing day. A great thirst fell upon the jungle people. Animals gathered at the last muddy waterholes, their bodies thin and their eyes wary. The struggle for survival grew fiercer as water became more precious than food. But a danger far worse than thirst was coming. The air itself seemed to tremble with anticipation, as if the jungle sensed a threat it could not name. From the man villages, a haze stained the sky, and a sharp smell drifted on the wind. It was a scent that did not belong to the jungle, a warning carried by the breeze, subtle at first, then unmistakable. The older animals grew restless. They knew the scent. It was the memory of ancient fear, passed down through generations, a fear that united all creatures, predator and prey alike. It was the smell of the red flower fire. The one thing in the world that all animals dreaded, for it brought only destruction. The red flower was not of the jungle, it was a thing of man, a force that consumed all. It cared nothing for the laws of the wild, nor for the lives it destroyed. It leaped from tree to tree, turning the jungle into a blazing inferno. The flames danced and roared, feeding on the dry leaves and branches, growing stronger with every breath of wind. It respected no territory, obeyed no law, and feared no creature. The boundaries that kept the animals safe from one another meant nothing to the red flower. All animals, from bear to snake, feared it with primal terror. The bravest hunters and the most cunning prey fled side by side, their differences forgotten in the face of a common enemy. It drove them from their homes, choked the air, and left behind only ash and silence. The jungle, once alive with sound, fell quiet. The songs of birds and the calls of monkeys replaced by the crackle of burning wood and the sigh of falling ash. Now it was coming towards Sioni. The wind carried sparks and embers, and the animals watched the horizon with growing dread, knowing there was nowhere left to hide. The first sign for Shere Khan was the panicked flight of deer and pigs. The ground shook with the stampede, and the air filled with the scent of fear. At first he was angry at the disruption, but then he saw the sky glowing orange and felt the heat. The fire was not a rival he could stalk, or a foe he could outwit. His instincts screamed of a danger he could not fight. The red flower was beyond the power of tooth or claw, and even the mighty tiger was helpless before it. Pride meant nothing to the red flower. It did not care for strength or cunning, nor did it pause for the king of the jungle. His lame leg ached. He knew he could not outrun it for long. Each step was a reminder of his vulnerability, and the fire drew closer with every moment. For the first time, fear crept into his heart. The jungle that had always been his domain was now a place of terror, and he was no longer its master. Tabaki, ever watchful, had noticed the change even earlier. The hyena's sharp nose caught the scent of smoke before most, and his cunning mind understood what it meant. The red flower would destroy his hiding places and food, and he could not escape it. Even the cleverest scavenger could not outwit the fire's hunger. In the shadow of the red flower, the mighty tiger and the clever hyena were suddenly frighteningly equal. The fire cared for neither strength nor wit, and as it swept through the jungle, all creatures, great and small, were united by the same fear, forced to flee together into the unknown.